Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing out there? We definitely appreciate you joining us for session 2 on Friday, 30th, on our 19th annual Education and Career Expo. This session is about using social media. We estimate it to be 10 to 10:50 in the morning, along with we have a couple of employers talking about social media, and then we have feature programs to study, Rice University and the University of Texas at San Antonio. So thank you everybody for being with us. We definitely appreciate you, and we're going to get going here. We'd like to thank our partners. It's been a long week. We would like to thank our partners that are with us. We have RGV Lead. My name is Luis Rodriguez. I am the Executive Director of RGV Lead. And then we have Workforce Solutions Cameron, who is a partner that has been helping us for the past several years in making this a reality. Typically, it's a one-day event hosted in Brownsville, Texas. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we are doing this a week long in webinars. So thank you for being with us. We'd also like to thank our event sponsors, our expo sponsors. We have Texas Gas Service, who is a gold sponsor, and then the Harlingen Manufacturers Association, which is a bronze sponsor. So thank you to everybody that made this possible. So using social media, some of the best practice, and this is based on some of the videos and some of the folks that we talked to, was that when you use social media, content is key. What you're posting about, make sure you know it. Make sure you're not just sharing something that you found somewhere, and because once you put it out on social media, it's out there. And as an executive director and as someone that's worked in the nonprofit world doing some hiring, just to let you know, we do look at Facebook and see what their postings are like, what we take that into consideration. So be mindful of what you post. I know that it's a great tool. Social media is a great tool, but anything you post out there is out there, and employers do look at that. So think twice before you post it. Is this something that is going to cause havoc, or you just like I said, just need to make sure that you're posting. Remain positive in posting. Try to stay away from the negative. That's just some food for thought there. Highlight your best self. So example of that this week, I've been posting every day. I post a picture of myself with the webinar behind me, just talking about all the great things we're doing, and the areas that we've been serving you all as students. So things like that. We had a lot of great responses. So research any apps before you trust them. A lot of times there's play this game, play that game, but take a look at what they do. A lot of those applications are able to see a lot of information that you have within your profile. So make sure you know what the apps that you're bringing onto your system, and then avoid overuse. That is, we all know that people like to post everything, right? They post their dinner, they post their snacks, they post, and a lot of times, people just scroll right through that. So my feeling is that when you post dedicated posts, directed posts, you're not overusing it. That's always great. So we're going to get going today. Continue on with this session. Next, we have Bobby Vidal. He's the founder and CEO of Triggers Media. Turn off my camera.
Hey, students of the Rio Grande Valley. My name is Bobby Vidal. I'm the co-founder of Triggers Media. I'm originally from Allen, Texas, and today I'm going to share with you what it is we do at Triggers Media. Let's suppose that you were...
Excuse me real quick, sorry. They're telling me that it's on the same first slide, so it's paused. Let me make sure. There we go.
Every night, dream many dreams. Dream ultimate reality. That would be within the infinite multiplicity of possibilities. At Triggers, our mission is to help build better brands for businesses so they can generate more business. We do that by offering advertising and marketing services for them. These services can range from website development, video production, graphic design, social media marketing. At the end of the day, is we're really trying to paint a strategy and implement that strategy so they can be successful for their business. So my role at Triggers Media is basically the bridge of communication from our clients to our team. And at the end of the day, what we're really trying to focus on is delivering a high quality product, but most importantly, achieving the results that they want to get. I attended the University of the Incarnate Word in San Antonio. I first started off with a degree in computer graphic arts, and I actually graduated with a degree in business administration. And then a few years later, I decided to go back and graduated with master's degrees in health administration. At Triggers, we most definitely use social media every day, whether it's for personal use or client use. So the biggest thing right there is we always make sure that we are not logged into any client's accounts and we're going to be sharing any stuff to our personal profiles. The other thing, when we're creating content, we make sure that we don't publish any of our clients' unfinished work to our personal profiles. That's another thing. We don't like to really show any of the work that's in progress. At Triggers, the way we use social media, just like any other business, promoting its goods and services, we really like to educate people on what it is that we're doing, how our products can benefit their business. So at the end of the day, we try to leverage social media just like any other business. Your social media activity can really reflect who you are as a person, whether you're off the clock or on the clock. Regardless, the best piece of advice is don't be sharing anything that's confidential. For instance, if you're in the healthcare field, you shouldn't be sharing any patient information. Most importantly, just be aware of that. So I'm pretty sure you're gonna get a lot of great advice from a lot of other people who are in this industry. And what I'm gonna do is I wanna give you the best advice based on my experiences. Student organizations, some elective courses that are available to you at your school, whether that be Photoshop, computer graphics, photojournalism, all those are a great solid foundation for you coming into this type of industry. Harness the power of the internet. There's tons of information out there. There's definitely online communities. There's tools and resources such as YouTube. You search anything on YouTube, pretty much learn it these days. So my best bet is take advantage of it. In any industry that you decide to pursue, networking is going to be very huge. You need to take advantage of that. My best advice is picture yourself in 10 years doing what you want to do. You can find someone who's already doing that, find a way to meet them and ask them how they got started. It's going to be the best thing to do. Practicing your skills is going to be the next most important thing you want to do. If there's a photography project you want to tackle, go and do it. You're going to learn a lot from that experience. Whether it's good or bad, it's all about the experience. That's the best advice I can tell you. At Triggers Media, we aspire to become masters of the craft. Regardless of whatever industry you decide to pursue, make sure you fail fast and bounce right back up. At the end of the day, as long as you put in the hard work and effort, you will succeed.
We'd like to thank Bobby for sharing that information. He said something on there that was important. You know, a lot of times as business professionals, and we also, you know, within the realms of our organization or business or whatever that may be, make sure you're posting where you're supposed to post. You know, the last thing you want to do is post something just down the road and post it to your work Facebook page, and then that promotes a negative light, depending on what that post is. So just be mindful of that. Make sure you what you're doing there. So we thank Mr. Villarreal for being with us and sharing that information. And like you said, social media is key, but as long as you're utilizing it the right way, you're going to be successful. So utilize it. It's free. There's no point in not using that once you get into the workforce and as you move down the road. So, Mr. Vidal, I know you're with us, so thank you so much for that. I'm going to pause real quick and get our next PowerPoint. Our next presenter is from the McAllen Economic Corporation. Give me just a moment. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Turn off my camera.
Good morning. I am Luisa, Director of Marketing and Public Relations for McAllen Economic Development Corporation. This morning, I will be taking a few moments to discuss using social media on and off the job. Social media, by definition, has so many different definitions, just depending on who you ask. I asked Google here, and I had 1,740,000,000 results. But, in hindsight, social media, if you were to ask me 15 years ago what it is, I would have probably the interaction that I had socially, starting with AOL, Instant Messenger, and then went on to MySpace, and then Facebook, and now we have a plethora of different social networks that we can use to engage with other individuals out there via the web. There are two types of social media for all of us. So there's personal use and corporate use. There are 3.5 billion users, that's equating to 45% of the world's population is using some sort of social media. On the personal side is how do we want others to perceive me and my values, or you and your values, and the corporate use is how do we want to distinguish our business, service, product from others out there, our competitors, or just somebody regionally. How do we want to distinguish ourselves? So I'm going to discuss both of them. Either personal or professionally, you're being watched. Every move, you are welcoming your followers to see, right? So they see who your friends are, who's following you, who are you following. They see the groups you're affiliating yourself with. They see the posts that you're sharing, obviously, the posts that you like. They see who's tagging who, what type of tags, what shares, right? So where are you sharing off of? What other groups are you sharing off of? Your likes, your dislikes. I don't think there's a dislike button out there. Sometimes I wish there were, but if you do voice that about something, someone can see it. So there is a trail, a digital trail that does not go away, and it's on there for a very long time. And even if you delete it, somebody might have screenshotted or shared it with somebody out there. Especially in keeping certain things private. So we know that there's these privacy settings that we're able to do on each one of the platforms. We're able to enable the different, privacy. If you don't want anyone to see something, or if you only want your friends, you can silo those, close friends only type of actions. So protect your personal information. There are those games and those quizzes that are asking for certain questions like, what is your grandmother's last name? Or, your first car, or your first job, or your first pet's name. All of these questions also happen to be questions that are used for accessing keywords. For accessing your passcodes. So these will pop up. And also your employer policy protects the company's privacy and encourages confidentiality. Most of the policies are very generic, and then of course they're updated according to what kind of business If you have a lot of business, you are dealing with outside individuals or very private information, right? So a doctor's policy, a doctor's office policy may be a little different than one at a bank or a nonprofit organization. But whenever you're dealing with customers or customer information, that's always the number one pointer, is to keep everything pretty confidential, not to share anything. In my previous world at a bank, there's even down to not showing the money, cash. You're not supposed to share that information because there's a serial number associated with all of that. And if there's hackers, and we know there are all sorts of hackers out there, they're able to obtain this information easily if we're sharing it on social media. So, just keep that in mind. Again, employer policies just dependent on the type of business and the type of interactions you have with your customers. You have to keep it confidential. Keep a lot of the information confidential. It's very important to know what needs to be kept confidential. Like anything else, we must use common sense when we are engaging in social media. So just to give you an idea, social media users by generation, 90.4, almost all millennials are on some sort of social media platform. 77.5 Gen Xers are on there as well. And almost half of our baby boomers are on there. Obviously, a lot of them are using it for different reasons, but they are on there and they can see it. So some of our common sense pointers: don't engage in negative behavior. I know that we have the freedom of speech and we're able to voice our opinions, whatever that may be. But you just don't want to, anything negative is going to follow you way more than anything positive. So just kind of keep that in mind. No one likes office politics, right? So don't air out your things that are going out on social media. If it's within office politics or if it's at home, whatever, don't air out your dirty laundry. Again, it stays on there. There's a digital trail. Your opinion is just that. It's yours. So it's staying with you and your name and your affiliations. Say this is my opinion. So in my opinion, right, I feel this, or my experience is this. You're owning that. Don't post during office hours. You don't want to be posting when somebody else is expecting something of you during that same time. Obviously, there's time tickers with each one of your posts, if it's maybe by day or if it's by hour, whatever it may be. You don't want to. This is just common sense. Don't be posting, even if it's a picture that you took 3 days ago and you're just posting it. Try to do it either during your lunch hour or after hours. And then remember, it never goes away. Think before you post, especially with that my opinion, right? So, maybe somebody via your work interaction just didn't treat you with respect or whatever it may be. Somebody over at the distribution center at Office Depot, whatever it may be. You don't want to post that. If it's still bothering you, you feel like it, you can put in my opinion. You don't want to post during work hours about an experience that you're having. It follows you. Somebody screenshot it. Somebody saw it out there. So moving that into the more professional, if you use social media for business, or if you find your position having some sort of social media right now, if you're not an auditor or somebody in the back office, you're more than likely using social media to distinguish your brand, or you have some sort of part in it. So just to kind of give you some feedback on using social media as a marketing tool. 73% of all marketers believe social media marketing is effective and very effective for their business. Okay, so again, depending on your role or the role you're going to have, it could be being a teacher within a school district. It could be, a banker within a bank. We're all looking to share our experiences, and obviously the most real hands-on, real-time way we're sharing this information is via social media. So distinguishing consistency. If you're working for a smaller firm or agency, you want to create a style guide to support your style guide, right? You want to create a social media style guide. Keep on brand. A variety of dynamics make up your unique personality. Make sure that all of your posts portray this personality. And the way you can do that, of course, are your color palette. Create an allowable and non-allowable color palette. Fonts, depending on your platforms, you try to keep it to 2 or 3 fonts that you're going to use always. And your logo, don't forget to include your logo on all of your posts or versions of your logo on all of your posts, making sure that, again, it's distinguished and it's also yours, meaning the business. Again, using social media professionally, you want to know who is posting on your behalf. Is it an employee, or is it the actual owner, or is it a third party, maybe an agency? So before you do any of that, before you identify who's going to be posting, you want to know who your audience is. Is it prospective clients? Is it prospective patients? Is it prospective buyers? You know, I mean, obviously it is. That's why we're on social media. But kind of silo that in. Is it, you know, a female between the age of 18 and 35? Who would she listen to? You know, a man's talking to her on behalf of your business. I don't know if it would make sense. So again, what's the voice representing your organization? Is it an actual person, or is it somebody that is either the owner again, or is it the agency? What's it telling? You know, if you're trying to sell clothing, we have a lot of boutiques now that are selling online. If your audience is a woman between the ages of 18 and 35, you know, maybe it's somebody that can relate to her versus somebody of the opposite gender, the opposite age. Is it somebody with experience? Is it somebody that comes out as a subject matter expert, right? I know doctors that get onto social media and they're posting daily. Hearing from that expert, is it better to hear from that expert versus somebody who's not necessarily an expert, but they're maybe a social media expert? You may want to take a little thought into that. And is it the first person, second person, or third person that's actually typing out the post, right? So is it we, or is it I, or is it them type of post? So you want to keep that all in, you know, in perspective, especially dependent on the service and product that you're selling. Engagement comes before marriage, right? So you have to engage before you actually create the sale or create that relationship. So what is your objective? Communication is key. You're on social media to connect and to communicate. So 71% of consumers who have a positive experience with a brand on social media are likely to recommend the brand, the social media page, their experience. They're sharing it with friends and family, right? So everyone now has a voice via social media. So assign a person to respond and set a goal turnaround time to respond, okay? This is number one important. Ask for responses, surveys, questions, games. Provide feedback and acknowledgement. Be polite in either responding to them publicly or through a DM. You also, if you're going to be using pictures or if you're going to be using somebody's opinion, you also want to have some sort of release form ready on behalf of your business, just to make sure that you get the okay from them. If maybe you want to use their quote, right, or they leave you a review, you want to reach out to them and ask them, is it okay if we use your review our print collateral or on our website? Have that release form ready to go in any instance. Sometimes if there's a verbal, there can be a verbal, and there can also be a written. Sometimes some people will take a picture and tag you. That's really their okay for you to use them. But always remember, use some sort of. So like mentioned before, there's a plethora of platforms out there. So identify the ones that align with what your efforts and your objectives are. Here at McAllen Economic Development Corporation, we have 4 platforms that we're active on. We have Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook that we are currently using. What works best, again, for your audience and to share the service and product. But Facebook, by far, is the market leader. 2/3 of all U.S. adults have Facebook or on Facebook. You want to set benchmarks and goals based on analytics provided by each platform. So within each one of the platforms, there is either analytics page, and then of course you can adapt whatever you're looking at and how often you want to look at those analytics. We use Twitter. Twitter is more of a newsfeed, right? So that's a constant sharing out information. Link to the article. We're also sharing. We have some 2 or 3 other organizations within our region or within the industry that we like to reshare their stories and vice versa. You like to have that back and forth, right? It creates more content, creates more drive. You also have your LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn is more of your professional page where you are sharing industry news, common objectives with other individuals, like-minded individuals that are sharing or have some sort of stake within the industry that you are in. We all know LinkedIn is more of a professional type. You're also on there maybe looking out or seeking for job opportunities or to enhance your network of subject matter experts. So with that said, we want to keep it as professional as possible on LinkedIn. Then you have Instagram, right? Hashtag the gram or whatever millennials are calling it now. So Instagram is more of a photographic shelf life. There's shelf life on there, longer shelf life, shorter shelf life, right? So you have your longer shelf life, that's your photo album, those are your posts, and then you have your story posts that have like a 24-hour shelf life. Again, all eyes are on you and can follow you if somebody screenshots. So whatever you post can be screenshot and saved forever on somebody else's phone. And then you have Facebook. Facebook, I see it more as a community sharing platform where, if you live within a certain area or radius of individuals or businesses, if you're selling to your local community versus externally out of your certain mile radius, this is where you share community-based information or something that has some sort of stake with another person within your community. So you want to fully utilize the goal-setting tool for boosts and promotions, right? So if you are using this to pay for paid promotions and digital media, you want to drive either, you identify, okay, what is my objective? Do I want to drive people to my website, right? Do I want to boost other platform posts? Do I want to promote a certain page or a certain service or product of mine? Local network, you want to create or increase either leads or your local network. Just depending on that, there are platforms or there are analytic platforms that you can adjust within each one of these social media platforms. Fully utilize them. They're free. One of the most important aspects of having a very successful social media marketing, either campaign or management, is managing the actual platforms, all of them, all at once. So you want to identify the responsible parties within your team. So who's managing it on a daily? Who's scheduling the design work that's going into it? Who's designing? Who's distributing? Who's responding? So you want to streamline a design tool, right? So where are you designing it and where are you saving it? You can start with stock photos, right? I used one on this PowerPoint here. It's a stock photo I used off of the website. I paid for it, 99 cents type of deal. Or you can create your own. Have a photographer go and create a library of stock photos that you can use that align with your brand. You also obviously use InDesign, Photoshop. We use here at EDC, Canva.com. It's the most easiest, most streamlined design tool that is user-friendly for a lot of us. Either myself, if I take it a little step further on InDesign or Photoshop, or if I have somebody that's managing the social media pages, everything can be shared on Canva. There's also a calendar, utilizing calendar tool. There's a calendar on Canva that's just a recent feature that they've added. You can also subscribe to Inevitably. There's so many different ones out there. You can Google just kind of a social media calendar tool, a management tool. Even research templates, right? So here at the EDC, we've created our own. It's on a shared Google Doc, and myself and the other social media manager, she and I share. I'll post up the different post that I want to have that week, and then we start inserting. We keep track of the hashtags that we use. We keep track of the posts that we're posting, if it's a shared post. We've organized it by categories. We have 5 different categories that we keep all of our posts in. So is it local news? Is it educational news? Just depending on the industry that you're engaging with. So it allows for various methods of use. Please always keep this in mind. Canva allows this, if you're going to post to Instagram or you're going to post to Facebook, keep in mind the picture that you're using, the font that you're using, how much content, the less the better, and make sure if it's a picture, if it's impactful, make sure that there's content to follow it if it's going to be used on one of those other platforms like LinkedIn or Facebook, where you can share, you have some area to share the story. Apply a distribution tool. I use Constant Contact to share out only because it's so user-friendly on the back end to see who's reading it, who's not, how quickly are they reading and hopping out. Obviously, Google Analytics has this as well, but the Constant Contact is a specific piece that you're using. And lastly, and most importantly, your security. So update your sign-on credentials, store those credentials in a safe place, and create permissions for individuals who have access, right? So I have certain individuals that are either administrators or they're editors or they're only posters. It just depends on the level of the person has, and then of course the access they have to utilizing that. And lastly, if you have somebody that's leaving the organization or leaving that role or transitioning to a different role, make sure that you update all those credentials, especially if you work within an organization that has very confidential information regarding either patients or customers or clients. Continued learning is key. I encourage this to take part in certification. There's digital media certifications that are available. There's some online, there's some local. You can actually just look it up. There's actually one starting here pretty soon at UCRGB. There's social media management certifications, depending on what you're looking at. Take advantage of free training tutorials. You can literally Google that and find some. LinkedIn has really great training courses for all sorts of social media use and purpose. So I encourage that. Don't ever stop learning, especially when it comes to your digital marketing, because this is ever evolving with social media, with just the day and age, right? So 10 years ago, social media, there was only one platform everybody was using, which was Facebook. 5 years ago, we added all these other ones, and now it's just we can't keep up with it. Now TikTok is rising to the top. So do we know how to use it? Take as many training courses as possible, especially when using it for business. I hope this is of use to one or two or all of you. Well, that concludes my presentation today. I hope it was of help for somebody or two of you or all of you. Again, I touched both on professional and personal. Personal because most of all of us are on social media, as you saw in the stats, but also professionally because, one, we are growing our resume digitally now, so people are watching, and they can just get your name and Google it or Facebook it and find you. But also, all of us are going to have roles that are in roles that have something to do with sharing that information out on social media. So I hope my pointers today were some best practices that you can include in your everyday, professionally and personally. But if you want to further that information, you can call, text, or email me. My phone number is 330-8990. You can text me or call me to that, or email me over at Luisa@McAllen EDC.org. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything. Bye-bye.
We'd like to thank Felicia for providing us with that information. Next, we have, if you're having trouble and you're not seeing the slides, or refresh your screen on your end. I know that that has been an issue throughout the week. Next, I'm going to click the Rice YouTube video.
Welcome to Rice University, home of the Owls. We're proud of our...
Give me just a moment. Trying to change screens.
Our unique campus and are excited to share it with you. Set in the heart of Houston, Rice's 300-acre urban campus is nestled beneath more than 4,300 trees, creating endless canopies of shade. We'll start our tour at Rice's most iconic structure. Levitt Hall was the first building on campus and is still the photo to get. Rice students enter the Sallyport Arch as freshmen and exit as graduates. Medieval Byzantine in style, Levitt Hall's signature feature, its large archways, can be seen carried throughout campus. The School of Humanities and Architecture lie in the academic block. Rice is also home to the George R. Brown School of Engineering, the School of Social Sciences, the Shepherd School of Music, the Weiss School of Natural Sciences, and the Jones Graduate School of Business. Laundry Library sits on the other end of the academic block. Students refer to it as Club Fondy for its popularity during finals week. The library is a great place to study or just hang out. On the other side of the library is Brockstein Pavilion. Located in the center of campus, it is a popular meeting place for its indoor-outdoor seating, array of drink options, and amazing views. It's also a great location on campus to check out some of Rice's site-specific public art. Rice is fortunate to have public art scattered throughout campus, including James Turrell's Twilight Epiphany Skyspace, which features 2 light sequences each day, at sunrise and sunset. Rice's dedication to art isn't just outside. The Moody Center for the Arts is a creative institution that creates collaborative works for the public and university community and features exhibition spaces, a studio theater, and classrooms. Rice's Baker Institute for Public Policy is one of the premier nonpartisan public policy think tanks in the country and strives to educate and engage the next generation of leaders. Key research programs include energy, the Middle East, health, Mexico studies, innovation, and entrepreneurship. The Bioscience Research Collaborative serves as the hub of interaction between Rice and the Texas Medical Center, the world's largest medical complex. Here, scientists and educators work together to perform leading research focused on improving human wellness through science. We never stop learning here at Rice. The Suzanne M. Glasscock School of Continuing Studies provides lifelong personal and professional development opportunities to the Houston community and beyond. Rice's 11 residential colleges are peppered throughout the northern and southern parts of campus. An integral part of Rice life, residential colleges are a place to live, eat, and have fun, lots of fun. A long-standing Rice tradition, college rivalries encourage creative cheers and competition to promote college pride. Students unwind, stay fit, and cool off at the Barbara and David Gibbs Recreation and Wellness Center. From racquetball courts to yoga studios, there's something for everyone. And if you're a sports fan, there are plenty of opportunities on campus to cheer on the Rice Owls or try your hand at a club or intramural sports team. A campus favorite, the Rice Farmers Market provides locally produced food to campus every Tuesday. Another favorite spot for both the Rice and Houston communities, our popular outer loop features a 3-mile shaded gravel path that is perfect for running and walking in the more than 200 sunny days a year we enjoy in Houston. Beyond the hedges of campus, Rice students are minutes away from the pulse of everything the 4th largest city in the country has to offer, like Houston's Museum District, home to 20 museums and institutions, Buffalo Bayou, 15 miles of hiking and biking trails in the heart of the city, and walking distance to Rice Village, a historic shopping district that boasts retailers, restaurants, and nightlife. Thanks for joining us on our virtual tour of Rice University.
All right, we definitely thank Rice for providing us with that video. Next, we have Luisa Ramirez, and I'm gonna hold on real quick. He's been our panelist, Antonio de la Cruz. I hope I said that right. Yes, I did. Ms. Ramirez, are you gonna be sharing your screen, make you a presenter?
Yes, I will.
Okie dokie, I'm gonna make you a presenter. There we go.
Okay, so let me change my screen real quick. Okay, perfect. Can you verify that you can see my screen?
I can see your screen. You're not on camera, but I see you. I mean,
Okay.
I hear you.
Okay, perfect. So there I am. Hi, everybody. My name is Luisa Ramirez. I'm a senior undergraduate admissions counselor with the University of Texas at San Antonio. I was a little hesitant to come on because we're actually having a little Halloween celebration in the office virtually. So I'm kind of in the midst of getting ready for that as well. But I am going to turn off my camera when I do the presentation, just so I won't be distracting to you. But we're going to go ahead and get started. And with me, we have Antonio de la Cruz, who is also an admissions counselor. So we both are the admission counselors for the University of Texas in San Antonio in the Rio Grande Valley. I primarily oversee all the lower Rio Grande Valley, so that would be from Mercedes to Brownsville, Willacy County. And then Antonio has everything from Weslaco all the way to Roma. So if you're coming from any of those schools, just know that your admission counselors are here. So let's get things going. Don't think this video is going to show, but we are just going to go ahead and skip it for time purposes as well. But I just want to highlight a couple of things about UTSA before we go into the program of study and the process of applying. But UTSA is located in the city of San Antonio. We are the 7th largest city in the nation and the 2nd largest in the state of Texas. So San Antonio stands out for its unique culture and history ingrained in every corner of the city. The rich culture of the city has to offer, offers many means. There are events happening year round, and UTSA community gets to enjoy every time the city celebrates. So that's really great to know, because not only is it a great opportunity for you to enjoy the city while you have a study break, but also to know that we have many companies that have headquartered themselves in the city of San Antonio that helps create many opportunities for employment purposes. So if your program of study is requiring you, or you yourself want to do an internship for your program of study, or possibly you're looking for a part-time job or that full-time position, just know that there are many opportunities there. And as I did allude to, there's lots of rich cultural history in the city of San Antonio. So we have over 350 student organizations in the university. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone. So if you're looking for a spiritual and faith-based group, or you can, be able to find that. If you're looking for an honor society, if you are looking for intramural sports, maybe something specific to your area of study, professional based, you can find those student organizations here at UTSA. And we're also an NCAA Division I athletic school and have 17 athletic teams. So there's always an opportunity to go and cheer on the Roadrunners. So let's transition and go into the programs of study that we have. So UTSA offers over 160 degree programs across 8 different colleges. And so this is a list of the bachelor's degrees that we offer. And by bachelor's, this is the very first degree, students, your first 4-year degree that you can obtain at the university. And so it's kind of a little A to Z that you can find something. And my colleague Antonio is adding links into the chat that are very helpful, so that way you can also find videos, or you can download a copy of the brochure that is on the page, and it's downloadable in English and in Spanish. If anyone is interested in health-related professions, we do partner with UT Health in San Antonio to offer all the professional programs. So how it works is that our students will start with us, complete their prerequisites at the same time that they are completing their 4-year degree, so they are able to transition to the professional school. Many students do stay in San Antonio, but our students do have the option to go anywhere in the state of Texas. And so we have a dedicated office of advisors that helps our students through that advising process as they complete this, this program. We also have engineering degrees. This is very popular with students that are looking at UTSA. And so these are some of the engineering programs, but along with this, our students can also choose concentrations within the different fields of study. So for example, if you are looking at petroleum, you could find that we have a chemical engineering degree, and our students can also find a focus area or pursue a focus area in petroleum within chemical engineering. So there's more information on that link that you can find. For anyone that is interested in becoming a teacher, we do have the teacher certification program, and you can get certified from elementary through high school, depending as to what level you want to teach. But the certification program is there to assist our students with hands-on experience for student teaching, and also gaining the experience, for classroom management and other things that you need to know to be well prepared to work with a diverse student population. And so many of our students do continue to teach in the Bexar County and surrounding areas. So let's talk real quickly about admissions, because I know I have a lot of students in here, and hopefully the majority of you are seniors, but if you are underclassmen, please pay attention. So UTSA typically and traditionally does require the SAT or ACT test score requirement. However, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have suspended the test score requirement through spring 2022. So what that means is if you are in the top 25% of your class, congratulations, you meet the guaranteed admission to UTSA. If you are in the second 25% of your class, you can also meet guaranteed admission, but you would need an 1170 SAT or a 24 ACT. Now, I know I said that the test score requirement is optional, which it truly is, but we still strongly encourage our students to submit their test scores because it could be a determining factor for competitive scholarships or competitive programs. Now, if you are in the second quarter and maybe don't have those test scores, or you just didn't have the opportunity to take a test, or you possibly rank in the third or fourth quarter, that is okay. Again, the test scores will not be required, but your admissions application will be evaluated holistically. So real quickly, I alluded to competitive programs of study. So you can go onto this link to see what are those direct admission requirements to get into maybe College of Business or College of Engineering, something with maybe architecture or cybersecurity. So a lot of the fields are competitive, but again, it is really important for you to just go onto this website, research the area of study, and just verify if you don't need to submit maybe an additional essay or additional documentation. So how can you apply to UTSA? Well, you can complete an Apply Texas or a Common App application. Please don't submit both, it's either or. And you also submit an application fee or the fee waiver if you qualify. Submit your official high school transcript, and then as I mentioned, the test scores are optional, but it's highly encouraged. Now for students, if you did complete dual enrollment during school or you're still doing dual enrollment, please submit those transcripts to us. Every little bit helps in the evaluation process. Also, the admissions committee would like to see an essay, letters of recommendation, and any extracurricular information. You will get your UTSA ID after you apply, and that will get you access to check your student account, also applying for scholarships, and also the document uploader so you can submit documentation. Oops, here we go. An important deadline, students, is January 15th. This is a hard deadline for the General Scholarship and Distinguished Presidential Scholarship. So these are great opportunities for our students to get their degrees covered financially. So it's really important that you also start the financial aid application, whether that is the TASFA or the FAFSA, and submit that application in soon. And the admissions priority deadline is also January 15th. We also have an initiative here with UTSA, and this is Bold Promise. It's a commitment to our students that are eligible who can have their tuition and fees covered at 100% for 8 semesters within a 4-year time frame. So this is specifically for our low income and middle class students. If you meet the following requirements, this could, your tuition and fees could be covered, which would be you have to be a Texas resident, have a family adjusted gross income of $50,500, submit a FAFSA or a TASFA by January 15th to UTSA, be ranked in the top 25% of your class, and also be admitted by UTSA by January 15th. So great opportunity for many of you. The Scholarship Hub, this is really important, students. We did bring in all our scholarship applications into one centralized location, so it makes it a little bit easier for our students to submit an application for scholarship. So it's all in one place. Make sure you check out that link after you have applied. Some of the scholarships we have, and I know I'm running out of time, is the Distinguished Presidential Scholarship. This is up to $20,000, and students that are admitted by January 15th can be considered for this. We also have the Terry Scholarship. You do have to apply by be admitted by January 1 for this. And for this scholarship, it is about $72,000. It will cover pretty much everything, and you have to demonstrate financial need. We also have the Top Scholar Program, which is our signature scholarship. And as you can tell, the deadlines are getting a little bit, sooner. They approach a little bit quicker. But this is our signature scholarship, and it is approximately $125,000. We do award 10 a year. So please, I encourage any students that are meet this criteria to definitely apply. If you have any questions, please contact us at the One Stop Enrollment Center so we can chat with you, answer any questions on admissions and financial aid. And you can always find us having virtual visits. We're always available on different virtual platforms to assist you and be able to showcase UTSA. Additionally, you can find us on our website and follow us on social media. And thank you so much for your time in this presentation. And this is myself and Antonio de la Cruz, who provided this presentation for you, and this is our contact information. Thank you so much, students.
All right, we definitely appreciate that. Great information from UTSA, great information from all our panelists and presenters with us. So we definitely appreciate that. And make sure I'm sharing the right screen. If you're having issues seeing my screen, it should say the UTSA live presentation. Refresh your screen so I can get to the last screen. So Luisa and Antonio, thank you so much for joining us. A lot of great information. What I picked up on was, I know Ms. Villarreal had mentioned, try to keep the wording the same, utilizing, I noticed that, UTSA is bright, bold, same font, colorful, very noticeable. So great work on that and utilizing that. So we're going to move on to the second to the last screen. We want to thank our Expo committee. A lot of great work from everybody on this committee. About 5-6 months of planning to get this off the ground. So thank you. And then last but not least, we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to submit the survey for this session. What it'll do is it'll give you an opportunity to win a prize, just one prize, but you're able to complete the survey for every session. Our drawing is going to be on November the 10th. We have Chromebooks, we have wireless earbuds, portable phone chargers, we have wireless printers, books from local authors. So thank you so much for joining us. This concludes session 2 on the soft skills and employability skills for using social media. Our next one is here shortly at 11. It's dressing for success, and we definitely appreciate each and every one of you for joining us, along with our panelists and presenters. So thank you all so much and have a great day.